So welcome Eileen Ames, new director of Saint Mary Preschool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you've been involved in the preschool for a long time.
Yes, actually my children went through the preschool, starting in the 3-year-old classroom, and so my oldest is now 20, almost 22, so I've been there a long time with the kids. I started teaching in the 4-year-old classroom 9 years ago. So this will be my 10th year on staff in the preschool, and I'll be starting as the new director.
How did you get involved in teaching young kids? What drew you to that?
Well, my background was elementary education, and I actually taught 2nd and 3rd grade for a while, about 3 or 4 years, until I ended up pregnant and stayed home. When my oldest was in 7th grade, I did a full-time sub in the kindergarten classroom, and that is when the 4-year-old classroom position became available here at St. Mary's, and so I applied and started in the 4-year-old classroom.
That's awesome. Well, and it's great to move up to be director. I'm sure that's a change.
It is quite a change. It is, Carla was an outstanding director and a great mentor to me in early childhood. She just really knows her stuff. So I learned a lot under her, and it was quite a decision to decide whether or not I could take this position, but after a lot of prayerful thought on her part, on my part, on I think many other people's parts, that it just was the time she was ready, and I decided that I was ready for a change, so I ended up in the office.
Yeah. I see her around here every so often too. She's back.
Yes, she is not far.
Yeah.
She is a phone call away, and gets phone calls from me almost daily. She's allowed me to keep her as a consultant, and so she'll be working with me throughout the year, making sure that I am doing things correctly and not forgetting anything. And it's been a godsend over the summer, as we've obviously been preparing for a very different school year. So I have needed her history to know what to do, and we've worked very closely together in coming up with our plans for what the next school year will look like, because it will look different than what we've done in the past.
I'm sure this has been an unusual time to take over a program. So
yes.
How is 2020 different from previous years?
Well, with being in the middle of this pandemic, it's been a baptism by fire, and I've had a lot to think about and figure out. I've been doing lots of research on my own, meeting with other early childhood educators, being in touch with people from the health department, researching CDC guidelines, and with Carla's help, we've kind of figured out a plan as to the best practice and safety protocols for us to be able to open safely and have as normal a school year as we can.
For parents who are already involved in the system, who may have older kids, 3 and 4-year-olds in the program, how will this year look different, and what do they need to know coming back into school?
Okay, so probably one of the biggest differences you're going to see is with our drop-off procedures, and we will be dropping off at classroom doors. We have the capability of having outside classroom doors into almost every classroom, so we can actually screen the children as they come up. In the past, the parents have walked the children into the hallways and helped them to unload their things and get them settled in the classroom. Unfortunately, this year, based on the guidelines, it recommends that parents are not coming in and out of the building, so we're trying to accommodate those guidelines by meeting them at the door, doing a screening there, and then the teachers will be assisting them in unloading their backpacks and getting them settled in the classroom. The classroom itself, we hope that it will look very much the same as far as the interactions between the students and the teachers. You know, we want that loving, playful environment, and that we're going to maintain. We probably will not have the number of volunteers that come in and help. We won't be able to go on the field trips that we traditionally have been able to go on, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. But we are remembering that this is for a very short time, and hopefully, you know, the health professionals will have things figured out and we'll be able to move forward I'm hopeful that maybe even by January, things will start to look different and we'll be able to start to go back to normal.
For new parents, maybe parents of a newborn or 1-year-old, or maybe that 2-year-old who could become a bunny next year, what do they need to know? How can they get involved in the preschool?
Well, they can reach out to me by phone call at the school office, the preschool office, or by email, and I can get in touch with them. I can set them up to come in and have a tour so that they can see exactly what our facilities are. And I would include them on all of our emails and any of the information I've disseminated to parents thus far so that they can kind of see what things look like.
There are openings for the 2-year-olds?
There are openings in the 2-year-old classroom and there are openings in the 4-year-old classroom.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Well, thank you, Eileen. It's great. Good luck in the coming year.
Thank you. I'm very excited. It'll be a fun and different and exciting year.